France's nuclear deterrence has always carried a particular identity: sovereign, independent, not subordinated to any other power bloc. While other nuclear states often embed their nuclear posture within large alliance frameworks, France has consistently framed its capacity as a national capability under full French political control. The integration of the ASMPA-R air-launched nuclear missile into the strike group of the aircraft carrier Charles de Gaulle is not merely a modernization step. It is a strategic evolution into a more flexible, mobile, and globally projectable nuclear deterrent. This becomes a demonstration of France's enduring principle of strategic autonomy, the ability to guarantee its own security without relying solely on American or NATO nuclear umbrellas. The ASMPR is an advanced supersonic cruise missile designed for the nuclear strike role, featuring an effective range of approximately 600 kilometers and capable of reaching speeds around Mach 3. Its flight profile, combining high-speed penetration with terrain-hugging trajectories, makes it extremely difficult to intercept even in environments protected by modern air defense networks. Unlike silo-based or submarine-launched ballistic missiles, ASMPR represents a uniquely controllable escalation instrument. The capability is not merely about delivering a nuclear payload, but also about signaling. France can deploy its carrier into a region, visibly position its assets, and quietly project a credible strike radius deep into strategic territory without committing to irreversible launch dynamics. When the missile is carried by Rafale M fighters operating from Charles de Gaulle, nuclear deterrence transitions from being territory-anchored to ocean-anchored. A land base can be identified, tracked, and targeted. A submarine-launched nuclear force is highly survivable, but silent, invisible, and politically ambiguous. A nuclear carrier strike group, however, physically arrives in a theater. It represents both a material and symbolic presence. When the Charles de Gaulle sails through the Indian Ocean, or enters the South China Sea, or positions in the Eastern Mediterranean, it does not simply float there as a projection of French flag prestige. It arrives as a sovereign territory of the French Republic carrying strategic range capabilities. This mobility fundamentally alters France's deterrence geometry. Rather than projecting deterrence outward from European soil, France can bring the source of deterrence directly to any region connected to French geopolitical interests or commitments. This gives Paris greater agility in crisis signaling, escalation control, and deterrence messaging. It is a form of nuclear-enabled diplomacy that only a handful of nations possess. The Rafale M plays a key role as the operational vector of ASMPR. It is an agile, carrier-capable multi-role fighter with a combat radius suitable for extended nuclear strike missions. The integration of Rafale's future upgrade path, including the F4 standard, suggests improvements in connectivity, sensor fusion, and cooperative engagement. While the missile itself provides strike capability, the aircraft and its surrounding airborne architecture ensure the missile reaches the correct coordinates under optimal survivability conditions. Future developments, including UAV support and potentially loyal wingman escorts, may further extend the survivability of nuclear strike packages launched from a carrier group. Comparing France with other nuclear powers highlights the specific niche that Paris occupies. The United States maintains a triad with vast ballistic missile inventories, long-range strategic bombers, and globally deployed nuclear submarines woven into alliance deterrence frameworks. Russia continues to maintain a massive and diverse nuclear arsenal, emphasizing strategic saturation and redundancy. China is building toward a more mobile sea-based deterrent and expanding its long-range strike platforms. The United Kingdom concentrates its nuclear posture almost entirely on submarine-borne strategic missiles, providing survivable second strike capability, but lacking flexible airborne nuclear response options. France positions itself between these models. Its submarine-based deterrent is robust, yet its air-launched deterrent from a carrier group offers flexibility and political gradation. France maintains a force that is smaller in number, but optimized for targeted, independent, and diplomatically calibrated deterrence. Where some nations rely on overwhelming nuclear volume, France relies on precision capability and selective deployment. The geopolitical utility is significant. For European security, France's nuclear independence ensures that the continent possesses a deterrent that does not require Washington's authorization. For wider global engagement, France's carrier-based deterrent ensures that French military presence in the Indo-Pacific, Middle East, or Africa is not merely naval showmanship. It carries real strategic weight. When the Charles de Gaulle operates alongside American and Japanese carriers, it does so not as a supporting partner, but as a fully sovereign, nuclear-capable asset. Looking ahead, this carrier-borne deterrent becomes even more important as France prepares for the next-generation aircraft carrier, PANG. With a displacement around 75,000 tons and electromagnetic aircraft launch systems, the new carrier will expand the operational envelope of nuclear strike aircraft. France may deploy larger numbers of Rafale M or its successor, potentially optimized for longer range and stealth-supporting deployment. Integration with future combat air systems could introduce mixed manned-unmanned strike packages, complicating enemy defense and sensor tracking. However, France must also confront real challenges. Operating a single carrier means nuclear-capable naval deterrence is dependent on maintenance cycles and overhaul windows. When Charles de Gaulle is in dry dock, deterrence shifts back to submarine and land-based elements. In any high-threat environment characterized by anti-access area denial systems, the survivability of a carrier group must be ensured by its escorts: the Horizon Air Defense Destroyers, the FREM frigates, and eventually the FDI Belhara class. Carrier-borne nuclear aircraft must be supported by electronic warfare, airborne early warning, and secure ISR networks. Yet the essence of French deterrence remains unchanged: a nuclear force designed not to mirror superpower arsenals, but to ensure France can never be coerced or strategically subjugated. The integration of ASMPA-R into the Charles de Gaulle strike group is more than a technical achievement. It reinforces France's claim to a unique strategic identity within NATO and globally. It allows France to remain a nuclear actor of consequence from the Mediterranean to the Indo-Pacific. And it communicates unmistakably that France retains the freedom to act, to deploy, and to deter according to its own sovereign strategic judgment.